That's right. Right. It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right. It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. No, I heard them say life much better you live it your own way.
All right, greetings. Today is August 7th, 2025, and it's a Context Matters Thursday as usual. And I want to talk about so many things today, but I'm setting the context for the things that's irony. Now, while dealing with context matters, I've always spoken about logic. I've spoken about fallacies. I've spoken about smoke screens in what is scheduled to be one of the most historical elections in the Caribbean, but more so for Jamaica. Historical for many reasons, because this election will, for Jamaica, set the stage for what Jamaica looks like for years to come, what the Constitution will look like, the type of protections for the people of the country. Understanding that Jamaica has always been a two-society, complex organism that puts out some of the brightest, some of the brilliant, talented, greatest, fastest, extraordinary human beings known to man. It is a society that is to be studied. But what is interesting is culturally, and like all democracies, there are usually what is known as the two-party democratic system, albeit some other countries, in the name of democracy, has always allowed a third party to creep in. And in Trinidad, we saw where the new party emerged and they were winning seats and they caused the other party to lose, and all kind of things took place. What is so interesting, though, is usually in these democracies in the free world, you have one party that is for the people, and the people being poor people who are middle class and lower, the working class people, and then you have the other party that is for the elite. What happens is, in some democracies, and greetings to everybody, his lives, big up yourself, Chester, Ashley, big up yourself. I should have said greetings to those who are tuned into Reggae Global Radio and Reggae Global TV. That's the flagship station. And of course, my people on TikTok, who has always been tapping up the screen, sharing the live, sending me gifts, and just keeping the show going. And of course, hosting the people who are ready and willing to say inappropriate stuff on the TikTok. Big up to you, because if you're not here, we don't make up the numbers. So big up yourself, especially on TikTok. And those people who want to be seen, I'm here for you. Now, YouTube, big up yourself always. Claudia Fletcher, walking in the divine purpose, my moderator who does not remove anybody and allow them to say anything. Splash Digi, but that's by design. We believe in freedom of expression. Ivan Garrix, big up yourself. But going back to what I was saying about the two societies, recently the Jamaica Labour Party published what they have coined their achievements, and of note is they have made it clear and identified that there are in fact two Jamaicas, one being spelled Jaimaica, Jamaica. And it's the bougie, like if you're from Upper St. Andrew and you're from the elite class, then Jamaica is for you. It's also very, very interesting to see the Uptown Butus come out. They the elite class who think they're elite, at least because they can rent in uptown and they can look down on the downtown people. What is always interesting is I'm always here to remind you, just as how your local government, your local government minister Desmond McKenzie can cut ribbons for toilets. At the end of the day, we all use it. You're not better than nobody, and you despite Jamaica has a class system. Just remember when we're flying first class, yeah, I see some of you, and you sometimes you and your family in the back of the plane take several seats. Yeah, you're not that hype. But I'm just letting you know that education is the great divider, not money. Before I play what I'm going to play, and before we get into it, I'm going to repeat it. Education is the great divider. Yesterday at the Independence celebration, and you know I split justice. I must say this, I was very proud at the family that is both from the East and the West. I don't need to call their names, but big up to their coaches. They're pronouncing letters a little better, although they're still struggling with language, the English language, and pronouncing words. And whether or not they understand the words, we must, as an educator, I have to big them up because they were able to read. Though they struggle with some of the words, they were able to read, and I see the improvement. It says to me that I can pat myself on the back because I'm raising the standard. Years from now, politicians won't come sound like them chewing dirt and struggling with basic English. It is offensive to the school system, and we will not allow our sons and daughters to not want to be the best versions of themselves through educators. So yesterday for me it was a proud moment. I can tell you this. Since I was announced a candidate, I've been at the Heroes Day parade. All the government ceremonies, I have attended all of them, and I have represented the leader of opposition where required, read his speech flawlessly. I must let me just tell you that now. I'm always proud to be an educated black man, superior to many and inferior to nobody in the Jamaica Labour Party. I just need to make that clear when it comes to education. And having said that, I was surprised to actually see them. So it took them at least 9 months to learn how to read a speech, to present themselves on a stage with me. And I'm proud of that because my purpose in any space is to make people better. My purpose in any space is to want people to want education. Education is sexy. Yeah? For the girls who love Birkin bags and Jimmy Choo and Louis Vuitton and all of that, I saw education sexy. It's a opulent thing. Education is just, let me tell you something. And I must tell you this, Mark Golden, shout out to you, big up you, because all of you say you're a big word, them sweet me. One of the sentences Mark Golden must say, election is nigh. We say after that, we say a man come up and I say, yes, time is nigh. Time is nigh. Time is nigh. Don't even know what it means. Go Google it. And all of the big words that the next Prime Minister of Jamaica put him in speech. He couldn't send a done spot for reading speech. I'm just saying. And he never had to email it to me and say, read it over and get your speech writer for help you for pronounce the words. So when you go up there, you don't look bugo yaga. You see what I'm saying? Because it's very difficult to read a speech in the belting sun when your education kind of shaky. You understand? But I'm just putting that out there. But more than that is people. I'm here to tell you, wake up and look what's happening to you. The leader of opposition goes to the Independence Gala at the National Stadium, a sports complex in semi-formal attire. I would call it sports attire, you know, the hat, um, big up Puma, Adidas, whichever one, and then the shirt, which is, you know, the gold represents the gold, the black, and it has the green in it, slight green. But of course, if you're colorblind or you're deficient in nutrition, you would look on the shirt and you wouldn't see it. So get your vision checked. And all kind of people from Jamaica was on the platforms and saying how distasteful it was, even though the First Lady of Jamaica showed up in bright yellow. The only other person who wore more yellow than the First Lady was Big Bird from Sesame Street, but the comparisons second to none. So big up the First Lady. I must say that. Um, Regardless of the political lines, you can check the history on any political platform. I always give her a big up. You know, yeah, she's shattered many glass ceilings, from the size of shoes to first woman to be the speaker of the house, black woman at that, a Dalrymple. We don't count those people. You understand? We don't have to count the wrinkle in the dimple, because those people give them sister government money for buy car and show garbage and in all kind of hanky panky, and man I say them take with property and have them down at GLC and them case no call up. So we don't count that. So big up Juliet. But hear me now. Look what's happening in Jamaica. Like, you know, let me make something clear. I am running against a female candidate, a white woman in Portland. Let's make that clear. Only one person is on that ballot. I would like to take this opportunity to say that anywhere I go, there is improvement. So when I entered Portland by invitation of the people, it is the people who said, come to Portland and represent us, because we don't have representation. And I answered the call. Here are things that is a fact. No political candidate has to die to put me in power. No counselor has to mysteriously die from poison to ensure my elevation. These are facts that I want people to know. So when people make mention of convictions and associations with crime, let me make it absolutely clear. I am an attorney at law, accomplished attorney who interface with the criminal justice system, and in a month or so may have to be retained by the very people who are running off their mouths on that side. We can have a whole conversation about corruption and fraud. Fraud, by definition, is what is taking place in Jamaica. You, whatever it is, and this is not a political conversation, this is a fact. People are not to settle. Just as how there is organic foods, there is A-grade material, B, C, D. There are things that's made in China versus things that's made in Italy. There are things that are original and authentic and things that are new. What people must never accept is fraudulent behavior. So every day I wake up, I have avoided it because I want to make something absolutely clear. And I'm not mincing my words. And I'm here to put things in context and to educate the people, because it is my duty to ensure that Jamaican people emancipate themselves from out of cas, and we must elevate from out of the 1950s. They always say the more things change, the more they remain the same. Well, guess what? This is a time when we must think about transformation. And if we do that at the grassroots level, Jamaica gonna lead. So here's my only take. Anything in Jamaica must be purpose built. Although we have, and let me make it clear, it's 14 parishes, no matter what they tell you. Don't make nobody don't tell you is less, and don't make nobody go try change the law for make it 15 just to suit them. Hear me, the 14 parishes, it means that the politics is local. It means that it's nice to say the economy is good, but if you sit down in a Portland and the economy is dead, the prime minister can run off him big nose and chat to him two nose all them. It don't mean nothing. Purpose built is what we're talking about. Now I can tell you, Mansion Hill is completely different from the valley, fellowship division. From the road, there is the road in the valley where a truck turned over just on the curb and people died. And all they do is put up a plaque, a memorial for the loss of lives that could have been prevented from proper roads and proper infrastructure. I can tell you now because it's the season. The roads in a rainy terrain has to be concrete roads. You cannot put down asphalt or rain is going to wash it away. And so it is fraud to spend billions of dollars and then put down asphalt knowing it's going to wash away in a couple of months. It's fraud. You can call it corruption, you can call it low grade, you can call it mistake, you can make excuses for them. The roads being laid down is not purpose built. We love them. And I take credit all the time because I said, if I were not here, they would not have spent the money to improve, to say that they did something. All things done in Portland Eastern has been done since I've been here. Everything done has been done in the short 7 to 8 months that I have been here. I'm making that clear. But what I want you to understand, and it's similar for my brothers and sister candidates, whom for them to print a manual and say it's 60 pages, you talk about opening of the urban center and somebody can't even take a dump because no sewage not down there. And for those who like a 6-piece big deal meal, yeah, big 6 meal with 2 coleslaws and 2 splash, yeah, and 2 mashed potatoes with gravy. No KFC, no down there in a St. Thomas, let alone to have one here, yeah, and to break ground on private property and without asking permission from the landowner, and to be up in other people them land and dig out hole, yeah. It just says to you that you're trying to make it look like you do something. And while you're doing that, purchasing $5 million worth of marl from your friends and then trucking it with trucks owned by you or trucks by your friends and having it dumped to say work is being done so you can skim off for some of the top, fraudulent. Yeah? Nerine Denison, if you are eating 9 pieces of KFC, you're greedy. Big back, big back, big back, big back. Ozempic just might be for you. Anyway, I'm guilty just like you. Don't watch no face. Yeah, so let's make that clear. So for purpose built, I'm going to get to it now. Last year, even earlier this year, Happy Grove is a school where many students, brilliant students, have to commute. And there's a transportation issue. And of course, the roads was bad in Mansion Hill, Boston, because it was being fixed. Yes, all of that, yada, yada. Road them nice, nice. It's going to be much easier for the voters to mark their X for me in light of that. So government, continue doing your job, fix the roads so that they can vote you out. Because roads is not a basis for people to vote. It is a right, a taxpayer's money. No, purpose built. They brought 2 school buses. There is an auction house. People can check it. Purple. Let me tell you what it is. I like to give people facts. Yeah, it's called the Purple Wave. So if you don't believe me, this next Wednesday, August 13, there's gonna be the vehicle and equipment auction, and it has 2009 Chevrolet Express buses for 1,650 US. The Thomas built bus 775. That's a short school bus one. The one that they usually carry the disabled kids in. Then you have the Canon State bus. 2013 International, you can get it for $425. The 1985 GMC, you can get for $325, and a 2009 IC Corporation PB305, straight out of Arizona from their Cannon State school bus system, you can get it for $220. Why am I telling you all of this? The buses are not purpose built. You see, in China, if they're building a bridge and they want the train to run, they say, why not put another road on top so the cars can go over? And then why not enforce it by steel? And then the weight, let's put more steel and then engineer it and make sure that is purpose built. And let me make it clear. I told you the prices of the buses. It's public knowledge that I can buy those buses. That's public knowledge. Check for yourself. I would never buy those buses. I would not put people's kids in those buses. This is not bad mind. This is factual. Now the buses haven't started and the tires are blown out. Can you imagine if one of those buses was to go around the same curve in the valley? Yeah? Up in the valley, the same curve. Like you're gonna go, like you're heading, whether you're going to Bellevue, Comfort Castle, and Ginger House and Millbank, and you take that curve and radam. What you do? Apologize and say it's a sad day in Jamaica because people prayed for it, or the fact is the buses are so old, the tires are rotten. Sun a beat pan them now, brake system a fail, bus crash yesterday, bus crash today, tire them bus, and when you call it out, them say you bad mind. No, me will never be jealous for Old Brook. In fact, nothing nicer than a new car. Yeah? And it is my wish that people want the best for themselves. And I tell you, I'm conscious driven. Shout out to the people who send the barrels with the second-hand clothes. And while you could put that in a homeless shelter, you cannot give people's kids second-hand clothes to wear. Not in 2025 when you have cheap clothes that you can buy and give to people. We have to be for real. Yeah? We have to be very real with how we treat people. Give people new things, and that is important. There must be value for money. So when the fraudulent transactions and the scamming come to light, because there wasn't mature consideration, for instance, you must have the road to manage the size of the vehicle, the maneuvering, think about the safety of kids, think about the safety of pedestrians, think about the safety of other commuters. Think about women drivers in their little Honda Fit that have to be trying, that they drive a middle in the road and these left hand driving a middle in the road. Now Honda Fit women, when don't come for me because uno can't drive. Don't beat me off. Yeah, and just think about it. And then the roads, because these roads aren't built like the roads in America where those buses are purpose built. Even the make and model are purpose built for the particular state, for the particular terrain. And we must think about those things. So miss me with all of that bad mind. I know have a bad mind somebody will show up at a national event and you don't even have proper shoes, proper clothes because you're cloaked in your whiteness. And you think you're superior so that you don't present yourself like out of respect for the people who you serve. So if you don't know you're a servant, why would I need to say anything? But I do not wallow in stupidity, let alone anything else. So that's one aspect of it. So I've dealt with that. The next thing that I want to talk to you about before I play my video, and I said, tracking, stay focused and let nobody take you off course. I have nothing else to say now, because when it comes to the future of Jamaica and the children of Jamaica, only the best will suffice. Note that the Minister of Technology has not thought it fit in his constituency to ensure that all the children in his constituency is equipped with tablets, and they have the means. He didn't think to test them, and the school buses are part of education, because what one has to think about is to ask the question, why aren't the children going to school? Some of them are not going to school because they don't even have the lunch money. The loopholes to get on PATH program, you literally have to tell an officer, say you don't have running water and a flushing toilet. Even though these days they will tell you, me not have no running water either. We have a water problem in Jamaica. It doesn't mean that you're pure. You're poor. Tell your parents to go buy water from the water tank that's owned by the member of parliament and the councillors thereof. So when you look and decide that the child doesn't go to school because of lunch, it is the lunch program that you must look at. Ironically, and I don't like to talk about it, but Damian Crawford is a genius. Damian Crawford spoke about extended hours, and everybody jumped down on him. And I'd see the letter a memorandum comes out to the new school year, informing them that extended hours are now available. Grade 6 and above and all of that is $4.35. And then they put optional. So you thief the idea, but you shut it down. You say the housing thing can't work, but no, you try give away the house them and give away the land. Everything because you're bankrupt with ideas. So purpose-built buses means that the magic school buses that goes to the valley, that's fellowship, may very well be different from the buses that run in Manchester. It may also be different from the bus that runs through Sherwood Forest and comes down through Nonsuch because of the tightness of the road. Yeah? Because them say every maca have its sticker bush, you must purpose built. And the companies actually, just like when you're buying a car, if you go into Mercedes, you can pick the dashboard, the interior, the color, the type of seat, whether leather, and the capacity, the luxury, even the paint on the outside, the quote. You can put an AMG kit, and you can go and custom built. So purpose built is custom built to fit the environment, and that's not an overnight fix. It's not an election tool. It's government business. So that's my take on it, but I'm not going to play politics with the future of the country, because I can tell you, take it from a man that has built his life from ground up, that all the things that are necessary to be successful in Jamaica is right here in Jamaica. If it wasn't so, the people who are behaving like elite that came from India and China and all of that, they're coming here and getting their tax exemptions, and they're building, and they're the ones that's driving the Range Rovers and the high class vehicles, and it is their children that are going to the elite schools. And their alma maters are giving them scholarships to get their children to get the best of Jamaica. And then they turn around and call people Butu and Ghetto. And make no mistake, I'm saying it right here. One of the biggest problems they have with me is that I'm a son of a Rasta man. Now watch this thing with Bobsy, where after how much years she's been a minister, she just give back land to Rasta and then finding culture and all of that. The Jamaica Labour Party has always had a problem with Rastafarians. Terry Long is not a Rasta. So let me not hear that they have one over there. He is not. Let us make that clear. I am the son of a Rasta man. I am a Rasta man. You can't take that from me. Just like how They're in my constituency and they're beating the youth and threatening them because they identify with their own. I am them. Are we there? So when you want to talk about different and outsiders, you are the outsiders. You have your weddings and sit at your tables with your whiteness and with your upper classness and your eliteness. And the only time that you see us is when you want us to vote. Yeah? So when you're me don't know if people tongue bore me, I stay out of that one there. But this is a fact that you can't take away. So when I see videos come out and the disdain and to be on stage with me, we were seated together and they would not sit with me. They do refuse to sit because of my dreadlocks and my blackness and because I'm not Negroid. Because I will not go into a shell and behave as if I'm inferior, which I am not. I'm of superior education and I'm the grandson of James Samuel Porteous, the transport guru of Jamaica. I assure you, on any given day with my eyes closed, I know so much more about transport than any of them. My mother is the Reverend Dr. Joan Porteous. I'm just making that clear. And so you won't, the dynamics of Jamaica have me ever feeling inferior. And that being said, I know the reference and I don't dance through the raindrops. I do not dance through the raindrops. I know the reference. I saw on one of the social media platforms from a news outlet where they say that the candidate from West Portland, who is not running against me, saying that the leader of opposition was out of order to allow a convict to read his independent speech. And that's protocol. I am the candidate. And in the absence of our future prime minister, I represent him. And in my absence, councillor would go. But as I said, I've never seen them from, I've been reading his speech about 4 different times since I've been here. But more than that is the fact that the disdain and problem that they have with me is because of my dreadlocks. And so remember, that is the party that has the Cora Gardens massacre. It is a real thing. That I'm the Rasta man that took the government to court over the young girl with her dreadlocks at Kensington Primary. And I will never forget the conduct of Marlene Malahoo Fort. I will never forget the silence of Babsy and Terry Long. I will never forget all the people on that side who didn't have a problem that the little girl was going through what she went through. I will never forget that it was an appeal that I won and the government took no issue fighting a child because of dreadlocks, because of blackness. So don't take it lightly when Desmond McKenzie says that Siaga beat him. There are people in Jamaica that don't have a problem being less than for a different class of people, whether it be mulattoes or white. There's no problem with that. But the equality that the Constitution brings, I am not going to let no human being deprive me of the equality that comes from the Constitution. And I'm telling people, and I want people to understand, wake up. And whilst it is that there is a drive to victimize me because of my ambitions, because of my capacity, remember, I never have no politician father at no point in my life that could stop me from going to prison, whether it be from allegations of rape, unresolved, allegations of murder, unresolved, and allegations of corruption, unresolved. I've never had that. I don't have that privilege. And so, while it is one of our biggest problem with crime in this society, is the ability to solve it. Make no mistake, when you define criminals, it is the ones that are never brought to justice that is the one that you should fear. Because I can check yesterday with my own eyes. I saw in the presence of members of parliament and ministers walking with men who are charged for rape. So my one question to the member of parliament in the West, in the West, if juvenile convictions that is illegal for you to talk about offends you, and rehabilitation offends you, yeah, in the face of you with your 212 waiver, which is a coke visa that you have had, and the revocation of the visa for your wife and whoever else you mix up with, a coke visa you got foreign pan, 212 waiver, suspicion of coke trafficking, coke dealer trafficking. So let's just make it clear. And I can tell you, I have no children who has gone on a plane with marijuana and the case has disappeared. Can you say the same? Yeah. So again, those people who have politicians, friends, and sons, and husbands, and husbands who are deported, your lawyer and your husband get deported for coke, and you wrap up in a bed with him, and it's me who have problems with. Let's be for real. Yeah. But I'm just putting that out because I want to know what is the government's position on the sexual offenses registry. How many of your friends are on the sexual offenses registry? I have none. And anybody wants it, anybody think a lie me I tell, make them put out that. The things when we talk about morally bankrupt, right? When we think about that, let's talk about that. So I'm putting that out there. But again, let me address this so and put it to bed. I will do it. Here it is. And I think that for the benefit of everybody, let me just put this document up. So there is what is known as it is a, this is a what they call it now, the Expungement Act, the Rehabilitation Act. So Jamaica actually has one. And surprising, yesterday at the Grand Gala, Department of Corrections had their display, the purpose of incarceration. And I always try to tell people about it and educate people is there must be a redemption aspect of it. But here is what I'm telling people so that they understand and don't just simply talk about things and they don't necessarily know of it. So here, this is the best I can do right now. It is the rehabilitation, criminal records rehabilitation of offenders legislation. And it says at section 31, well, it starts from section 30, and it speaks about offenses of unauthorized disclosure. What happened yesterday was the unauthorized disclosure of my convictions by a government minister. It says, subject to this provision of this act, any person who in the course of his duties has or at any time has had custody or access to any official record or the information contained therein shall be guilty of an offense if knowing or having reasonable cause to suspect that any information he has obtained in the course of those duties is specified information, he discloses it otherwise than in the course of those duties to another person, right? So that in and of itself is an offense, right? There is the 31 that says, subject to the provisions of this act, any person who dismisses or exclude any other person from any office, profession, occupation, or employment because of a spent or expunged conviction which he knows or has reasonable cause to suspect is a spent or expunged conviction and which is not required to be disclosed under any law shall be guilty of an offense. I'm putting that out there because I just leave people to talk about my convictions because I'm not ashamed of them. But when a government minister and nationwide, yeah, they had the sense to confine their report. And like I said, for the purposes of the many young people, even older people, and the families that have young people or persons with convictions who have spent their entire life paying for the convictions. I speak about mine to motivate people to know that there are no clogs and fetters when you go through your rehabilitation process and you deal with education and you live a selfless life. So I don't take issue with it. But when you try to go outside of the law, because what does the Representation of Persons Act tell you? It doesn't bar me, and Mark Golden is a lawyer. So am I, just in case anybody forget. It's anything being done in relation to my representation in Portland. It's done under the law and the Constitution. There is no government minister because your skin high color, because you think you have money where you're likely the thief, and money where you never get by the sweat of your blood. Yeah, that you can come and try to go on like you're gonna style Isaac Buchanan in breach of the law. I don't have to sue them. I take no pleasure in turning ordinary, common, uneducated people into criminals. So I'm not going to make a report. You can't, let me tell you, you can't start somebody who have superior education than you and not have to beg and borrow. Me on a broke pocket. So your problem, and I'm telling you, I keep saying, don't size up. Especially you're not running against me and you're running off your mouth. Fair game. Fair game when the wife come and, she bad me up. I find it to be cute because people have to do what they have to do within their capacity. And I respond to that. This is educating the public about crimes being committed before your eyes. No respect for the law, no respect for the Constitution. And I'm just putting it out to the public. So yes, why do I not respond when a voter who loves this party cuss me and say, yeah, there's still time convicted guy. Yeah, you're free to talk, freedom of expression. And plus, I would not want to put you through the hardship I have experienced having been a youth offender, and this is being thrown at me. I would never want somebody's child. One of the reasons why I ask any of my clients, I fight and move the heavens to ensure that if there is a flicker of innocence and that the court don't get it wrong. And I research the law. I will go on a plane to England and walk into the law libraries to find the laws of those who created it, the white man's law, and find the interpretation, whether it be through textbooks, even after reading the legal document itself, the history, go through the Hansard to ensure that the language as it was formulated and some of the idiots that sit in parliament that just sign to anything, the object and purpose, the mischief that was trying to be corrected, I look for it to ensure that people's children don't experience discrimination. It is very, very difficult. as a black man to have mulattoes and white people talked down, especially during independence, and using an excuse because you don't like Rasta, you are offended by my blackness, and you're using something unresolved, and you fail at once again. You give no credence and recognition to an educated black man and try to reduce me to who your friends are, as if you think you would see me in a bar like you. Yeah, I am not the one, and not any and anybody can be in my presence. And because you don't respect the voters and I do, you have a problem. That's it. That is it. Because you don't respect people's lives and you don't want them to be better. You don't want them to be greater. But on Independence Day, you make an attempt to reduce a black man and say that notwithstanding the laws of this country and the Constitution, that I know what in there and the representations of people act, and you think because you're white and your family and your friend them is that you can try to flout the law, like you flout the law to trick the Jamaican people and buy bus that need tire and the school year not start yet and distract. Let's talk about the land in Portland. Let's talk about that. Because I sat with a very rich man today, and his badness them use and open highway and break ground on his private property, and then send China Harbor into the property and digging up the property without the least of permission and discussion, all in the name of politics. And if they can do that to a rich man, what is a youth out of Blue Lagoon? What is a youth who have him like a fishing business and him like a shop right out of Prospect Beach? Tell me. And so because I am here to protect the rights of people, and I tell them, you don't even have to like me. Protect your rights. Because every time I protect your rights, I preserve mine. So if it's a Rasta, me I gotta protect them. If it's a Chinese, me I gotta protect them. If it's disabled, I'm going to protect them. If it's a woman, I'm going to protect them. Yeah, I protect every right, every human being in Jamaica and all over the world. I respect human rights and I respect basic human dignity. Yeah, it is the foundation of Jamaica. And I want people to understand that, and I'm speaking passionately about it. And notice it's almost 1 hour I'm talking about it. Do not be distracted, because these are the people who thief parish council and parish council road so that they could exclude black people and young black men from making money. And people would have just said, oh, me chat too much, and people talk about, you think this is labor right and PNP thing? This is life after politics. Yeah? See how long we're saying call it Andrew, and now him have to call it Sunday. Because if him don't, the Constitution is going to do it for him. And then you're going to put on your clerks and take this thing for some clown business. Let me tell you, and I just your nose big, mine big too. And if the sun burn me long enough, this get red. Yeah. But this is people's lives. Oh, see somebody putting it there, Bayview Eco Resort is being, yeah. And just say this. While you are sleeping, there is a push to turn the beautiful ecotourism them want on Portland in a Montego Bay. Take away all of the beachfront for them and them friend them, and you have to drive out of your parish to go look at beach for go swimming. And if a little black man have a little spot on a beach, you take him up like how them do them out of Bob Marley Beach. And you treat people like them a dog. But you have a problem when Mark Golding says for adverse possession, we're going to reduce the time from 60 years to 25 years, because you know that if I'm a 40-year-old man and I dep on a land and me turn 52, me fi have the land. But no, me have to wait till me 100 before me can take the land from government, and government no look on it. Administration after administration. But they must come and steal the land where them mama and papa no work for. And I can tell you this, the land where my grandfather, and I just talked to my Uncle James, big up yourself, land where my grandfather, and a government land me own. So me believe say all of the youth them for have land, and they must know what ownership feel like, and they must have respect, so that they can appreciate what Paul Bogle and George William Gordon fought for. So when every time I see a young person and they say, I'm not voting because JLP tricked me, I don't trust politicians again. Yeah, once bitten, twice shy. Yeah, but one thing I can say is your power is the vote. And them the servant they will not have we can barely read and write. I true them don't know we're in the legislation. That's why them behaving like them better than you and want to treat them like subjects. They are your slaves, not you. They are your servants, not you. And there's a disconnect. But all I'm gonna say is black people, wake up. And for anybody that's gonna say, oh, I'm talk about Mark Golding White, you say Mark Golding wife? Yeah, she could be my mother, a black woman, and in turn her in the queen and empress that she is. And she have the fashion sense to dress and cut the big bird behavior. But anyway, let me leave that one alone. Just listen to me. Fight for you. Context that I'm going to share with you right now is the fact that at the Blue Lagoon, and you had Blue Lagoon, Return to the Blue Lagoon, the James Bond movies right here, Port Antonio. And before Dr. Bloomfield died, there was a fund, millions of dollars going into the constituency fund before he was murdered for the ascension of somebody else. Just understand the dynamics. We play a numbers game. Don't fall asleep. Wake up. And people just pretend. You know, when you search the internet, I am a lawyer and I do research. The young man that was charged, you can't even find one picture of him. It's like them never exist. Yeah? They never exist, and nobody talk about that court case. There's no reward. And I can tell you, when you kill a politician, it's capital murder. And they're just escaping nearby bushes. But anyway, young men who used to make $100,000 a day at the Blue Lagoon have been disenfranchised by the member of parliament and her husband and the rich people surrounding. The parish council road to date is guarded by security guards from those people. Private citizens pay the security guard to keep out the young men of Portland who that is their living. Yeah? Don't forget this. Don't ever forget this. So independence is not something that they want people to have, because if you don't have to get up in the morning and go down to them constituency office, at least my constituency office have AC, and in the modern dispensation, when you make your appointment, you will be there. People will see you, and there's always somebody there. Don't believe the hype here. But here, I leave you with this, and we'll talk. This is the world famous Blue Lagoon.
For generations, the Blue Lagoon has been a postcard perfect spot. Tucked away in Portland Eastern, on the outskirts of Port Antonio, Hollywood has made the lagoon one of its most filmed spots.
This is where they did the movie like Cocktail with Tom Cruise. They also did movie here like Club Paradise with Robin Williams, Jimmy Cliff, Lord of the Flies, 1985, Blue Lagoon with Brooke Shields. So because of so much movies that was done here, it's internationally known, so it attracts a lot of people.
This is what entices millions of visitors to the Blue Lagoon. But for the residents, this stunning beauty of Portland Eastern has been their lifeline.
We have been here like maybe 40 years, some 30 years.
I've been on the lagoon before 1980.
Most of the persons in my organization, they come from surrounding communities and make some money and go back to their community and spend it in their community.
Under this GLP government, the heart of the Blue Lagoon stopped beating for the last 3 years, leaving hundreds of families in the surrounding communities without hope, without an income.
They have closed down the Blue Lagoon from the past 3 years now. Since then, no commercial activities has been happening here at the Blue Lagoon.
There is nothing for us to live off. All that we used to live off are cut out.
The commercial activities, it was bamboo rafting, motorboat ride that would take you along the villas of Blue Lagoon over to the Monkey Island. For people who love like snorkeling, they could snorkel.
Then see some turtle and stuff like that, and then can request the time what they want to spend. So it's like a nice environment for people come to them, like the sightseeing and stuff like that, you know?
That's what the commercial activity was like here before.
And they close it down, no rafting, no boat ride, understand?
The reason for closing it, they say that it was out of control, things was not orderly.
They sent us to do TPD code training, like how to speak to tourists, give us license and all that. We get all those stuff.
I have members that did their lifeguard training. I have members that do tour guide training. All my members, we have all our certificates sitting down here on, have nothing to do with it. It's a summer holiday, and as you can see, all the people around is here for commercial activities.
Right now, the people come right now, they don't stay any time here because no rafting, no boat, nothing to entertain them.
The people come, they just look at the water, walk around.
Nobody just want to come and look at water. What is?
And then they are on the way, nothing to do.
We have people like 30 people one time. And when 30 people come at the rate of 3,000, it's $30,000 going down.
That is what we have been disenfranchised from for 3 years now.
What we see is like they want to take away the place.
All because of the high-handed and aggressive action of the Jamaica Labour Party and their MP, Anne-Marie Vaz, who care nothing about the people.
I know they don't care about us because this is not the first time this happened. This happened back in the 90s when the Mazooka take over the place. Every time this happened is when Labour right take over. This happened in a Siaga time and it come back and happen in a Andrew Wallace time. So it's a politics thing.
They take away Prospect Beach, they take away Blue Lagoon, and all them kind of something there. What they want to do with the youth? Send them go thief or suffer. Wicked people.
Families are left unable to pay their rent, buy groceries, unable to pay their children's school fees. Everyday life for the community has become extremely difficult.
Plight I've been facing since the close of the Blue Lagoon is very terrible on my side because every week, every month, is bills, and everything piling up and we can't pay with bills.
And if I never Andrea Stevenson would talk to the media, we pay me rent and do all kind of stuff. We're dead by now, in Upper Harm's house, live nowhere.
Past 3 years is just like friends and tourists. We know the problem we face right now. We beg them something and then we send back a little thing come help us because they know what really are going.
For the week, I could have earned like 30,000 and stuff like that, you know? Right now, reduced to less than 10,000 right now.
Tour boats now become idle. Bamboo rafts are non-existent. Craft stalls are fully stocked, but no activity.
Costing to go up on a motorboat is like $20 US, $3,000 a person. Bamboo raft is $100 US a couple. You understand me? From morning, our little raft captain and all gone 2 raft trip from morning, he earn up to $30,000 and just go and chill all feed day.
Because we carry this, every carry them people are good enough to feed them say $3,000. You know how much money that? Nearly $500,000. Because more people is coming in. And we have nothing to do, we just sit down and look like Wallace in a wonderland.
And this kind of money just been slipping through every day in a country where in crime high, job opportunity down, non-job creation, nothing. You have this kind of adventure. If you turn this kind of money just a slip through every day, like for 3 years straight.
That's what I wanted to come and experience, the whole boating.
Right, your friends told you about it.
Right, my friends did tell me about it.
Only the homeowners and private people can have kayak and have fun on the Blue Lagoon. You understand? I never seen nothing so racist yet in all my life. So poor people lose this kind of money daily. It is totally insane.
It is not only Portland, they affect the whole Jamaica. Because people from Negril, Montego Bay used to bring tours here. And when they close the place, all those people who take people here, they can't operate.
The people that come from Montego Bay, Kingston, Negril, all over, just come enjoy Blue Lagoon for the weekend.
People used to come on weekends, stay by the surrounding.
So eventually the guest house them get the support, Boston, the restaurant them, everywhere get the support, you understand? And through the Blue Lagoon closed down for so long.
They don't come because no activity is going on here.
I'm coming from the UK and I heard about that they did the raft trips on the lagoon and I'm disappointed that they don't do them here anymore.
Hi, I'm here from New Jersey visiting my beautiful island. I actually came here in anticipation that they had the rafting, the boat ride, you know, stuff to do, you know, to entertain me and my family. But to my disappointment, nothing, you know, so we have nothing here to do. I'm here twiddling my thumbs.
Yeah, people, this is a play best all the way from St. Elizabeth. You know, I'm come here to forget a little rafting experience wasn't here. Jano, we missed it, people. I love to bring it back.
I think they should bring back the rafts and the boats.
You know what, this might be my first and last trip because until there's a change, I don't see myself actually coming back because what's the point, you know what I mean?
What's the kind of income that you're making now in light of the fact that they shut down all of these services for 3 years? Yes, since Isaac has come to the parish, he has been hitting the Blue Lagoon topic on every platform. Should he get in power in government, Blue Lagoon will be his first priority.
Dear Darrell and Anne-Marie Vaz, you will not give Blue Lagoon that parish of the Lord.
And he come and see firsthand what is taking place here and how it affects us.
We need the boats because this is why I'm here. I heard about boats and
the rafting.
Right, that's why I'm here and then become no one here say like that not there again. So
how far are you traveling from?
Kingston.
Okay.
First time.
First time here?
Yes, very first time.
I can tell you, we're working, that's what advocacy is about. We're working to ensure that we stop them from, you know, one day you come here and you wish you can go in the water and can't go in there. We're making sure that we reverse all that is being done.
So if we don't get Isaac Buchanan, there was in a serious problem, very, very serious problem.
It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come.
Now is the time to breathe life back into the Blue Lagoon. Let us reopen it safely, sustainably, and with fairness in every step, so that local families can rebuild, local hands can work again, and visitors can discover the soul of Portland. The Blue Lagoon isn't just a place, it is a promise, and together we will make its heart beat once more.
Change gonna come. Oh, yes it will.
We're back from the break. You're tuned into Context Matters on Reggae Global Radio. If you're tuned into TikTok, Blessings to you. Tap up the screen, share the live. Thank you so much for all the gifts. And my people on YouTube, big up yourself. We're also airing on Fridays on Coda Network. So big up to the Coda Network. So just get an appreciation of what I'm talking about. The government speaks about reduce unemployment rate, but here in Portland, there's a drive to take away the economic viability of the small man. If they see you striving with a business, they take it. There was a time when coffee was $20 a bag, and it's now $9, 20,000, and it's now 9,000. Just appreciate that when they reduce your economic viability, it causes you to suffer. So if people think this is election gimmicks and election tactics, this is your life. You are voting for your life. When I come and I see the issues that are taking place, when I came here last year and reopened Boston Jerk Center, as an attorney, I can tell you that I am just sometimes in awe at how the abuse by government and the disenfranchisement in the name of many things that have nothing to do with nothing. When Andrew Holness went to Clifton and Louadisville to take the lands from the people, it was for self-interest. It was not because and told lies about gang members and wreak havoc in society and fear and use crime and violence to bring fear and incite people to not have a heart for their fellow Jamaican brothers and sisters. And they use criminal. Look at them trying to put on me and blame me for crime when they are the authors of crime, when they survive by opening funeral homes and then executing young people and say that it is confrontation and extrajudicial killings. Who benefits from it? The new funeral homes. Yeah? When they create narratives that is palatable so people don't feel so bad. And when hard-working young men and young women go out there to make a living for their families. Yeah? And let us not forget, there is something called projection. You don't have no sympathy for the disabled. You don't make no provisions for the young people with learning disabilities. And you don't put nothing in your budget, and you don't provide anything to increase the salaries of those who shadow these young people who still need to get an education so they can be competitive in the race of life. Where their hero right now is Senator Floyd, Dr. Floyd Morrison, who can graduate from the University of the West Indies and become a professor because of he has suffered from some eyesight. His disability is through eyesight. So many other persons, and I remember teaching a young lady at the University of the West Indies, and she was a law student, and she graduated and she became a lawyer, anxious to see what kind of contribution she will have on this beautiful island called Jamaica, notwithstanding her disability. But instead you ensure that wheelchair access is there and a school is in Port Antonio and all of that for the parents with children who are disabled and making their lives easier. You're gallivanting and talking about things that don't have nothing to do, like you know have disabled picnic in your family. Like a little light no dep on you. So you have no heart, but you project and don't care. Let's not talk. Let's have a conversation about crime and criminality. in criminal organizations, a criminal is not defined by conviction, it is conduct. Integrity is not defined by social media and PR. It's about doing the right thing when no one is looking, an internal locus of control. So to my surprise, when some big shady and dodgy human being is going to come and project righteousness, when your life is clouded in dishonesty and unresolved criminal conduct, I will never go so low. I stay focused and stick to merit. You either have the capacity or you don't. And to Jamaica, right across Jamaica, I'm not limiting it to Portland and the diaspora. Let me tell you something. Nobody feels say, oh, a man can do a thing and get things done. So we're all right with it. Even if them have to murder everybody and them have to rough up people and run with people and you have to pay thing and treating it like anti-gang legislation supposed to apply for them. But while we are on the topic, me not ask nobody to ignore the fact of my convictions. In fact, I was talking to a very intellectually superior human being that living in Jamaica that said to me, having heard the minister and member of parliament speak so nasty about you, I went and checked what I was doing in 1999 when you were in prison. And the number one song that year was Britney Spears' Hit Me Baby One More Time. I wonder, where were you? And for those of you who didn't like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera then won the Grammy that very January in 2000 for Genie in a Bottle. And everybody was sad because Britney Spears didn't win. But for those of you who didn't know, Scrubs was the best song. Yeah? And for the ladies, you know, you don't want no Scrubs because they're always on the passenger side of their best friend ride trying to holler. And the best friend ride wasn't no old bus. So how did we get there that when when Scrubs was playing, those buses were new? I wonder if you turn on the radio in one of those buses, if Hit Me Baby One More Time, Genie in a Bottle and Scrubs would come on the tape. Because them bus, they have cassette deck. Do you even know what a cassette is? So we should not be suspended in time. Because if you look at it, you know, it's almost like people try to stay. It's the same people that tell that want to beat you with your past. We say, man, do better than that. Don't worry about slavery. The same people that tell you that you mustn't worry about slavery, that's so long ago, and don't blame us for it, it was our forefathers, are the same people that tell you now that the mistakes you made should haunt you forever. Even when you exercise the judicial system and protected by the Constitution, it's not enough. And they would breach the Constitution in the name of discriminating and disparaging you to give themselves credence. Because when people are in the presence of great men, they shudder. Their impotence shines through. And I can tell you, there are people who will be easily emasculated by a strong, powerful black man, a lion like me. So you can't victimize me. So I recognize that when you speak against rehabilitation and say there's no redemption in Jamaica, you are a liar. when you try to talk down to me, just know that you're wasting your time. I have embraced my past, and through my past have gone through a course of studies where I am educated at the University of the West Indies, a certified university, graduated with first-class honors, and I'm always happy to remind people. And having graduated with first-class honors, I went to Norman Manley Law School, not BRED Bustamante, no law school, no name so, Norman Manley Law School. And it was there that I got my practice and studies. And then after that, I went to a rigorous interview. It was no fly-by-night and no links. And I was called to the bar on merit. Me never have no politician father. And me know I went to Meadowbrook High School. I have an educational background and history. None of renting. I never own a used car lot. I'm not in the business of Old Brook. So I won't take Old Brook mentality into government. And see Loxley saying Portia's grandson, for those of you who don't know, research it. One of the greatest men in Jamaica, James Samuel Portius, and I'm proud to be from his genetic lineage. It is one of the reasons why my African identity is so important, and why material things, you can't buy me out with that. I can't fright me out with money. Heart and love and respect for people. Every young person I say, ask them, I say, you can be greater than me. You're supposed to be great. And I say, black man, rise up, look into the mirror and tell me what you see. Because when I look, I see a black man staring back at me. I say, children of the future, this we know is true. So you have to stop and ask yourself, what are you going to do? Yeah? Black man, rise up. I'm telling you, I'm saying it like that. Because the other races are okay. They have their opulence. They are from Jamaica. Jamaica. But for you who is out there, don't make nobody tell you go roll out your hand miggle and you don't have to worry about education and beautiful speaking. Reject that. Reject it. And for those of you who don't care what nobody wants to say, when those same people came and said, listen to me, for all, and told me all the reasons why I should throw away a Seminole case, I stood with my integrity. And look at this. Look how far them are come on, and look on them now. I speak it all the time. But my integrity is intact. You don't believe me? I have a good practicing certificate. Yeah? Unquestionable integrity. Good character. So anybody want to say that? And I can tell you about the law in terms of where morality lies. So you must have a moral compass and not be morally bankrupt for likes and money. And to those of you who are beating the youths across Portland because they're going to vote for me, you can't stop them. There's a higher power, something greater, greatness within them, because when they look at me, they see me, you can't deny me that. No bleaching cream around here. And even if somebody a bleach, so what? Freedom of expression and identity. Finding thyself and be free to just do what they can do, and having the financial independence. We must be owners, co-owners and investors of the space that we live in, not sweatshop workers and minimum wage collectors. And ironically, they know when to find your value though, when they want to vote and when they want. But anyway, let us think on these things. Because you might be 20 now, but in the next 5 years, you're 25. I'm gonna see if you're gonna make the right choice and make sure so by the time you're 25, you're a homeowner. Or you're gonna love likes and settle for a $5,000 car. You see you Shearer and Michael Manley on it. Yeah? So that is what it is. And naturally, I'm just gonna tell you. Yesterday, I put up my board and I only put up these gigantic poster boards so that people could walk up to it and scan it so that they can get information. Yes? Plans for the future of Portland and the country at large. For education, health, agriculture, and tourism. That which is necessary to resurrect the economy. And I wake up and them take down the board. Dash it away. Frustrated to see my ugly face on a board because how dare this Rasta boy feel like him can dip on billboard. Offended by my existence. If I was an idiot, it would not have been a problem. But you fear that which is inevitable. And I'm happy to say that anytime I get to a place where I know the outcome, I find it laughable. There was a blogger one time that used to say I was going to lose a cartel case. And I found it to be laughable. And I used to clown him. And I thought Sir P was Miss P. And he gave me names, Ice Sprat, Backerman, this, that. And he tried to create a narrative. It can't stick. Don't worry yourself. But I'm now here to tell you, we are at an impasse. Time is nigh because time come. And all that is left after Sunday when the election is called. When we turn up the thing, because I'm going to tell you something, me and my 10 vehicle them last night in our Independence and the orange light them bright. You want to see the little green car them get nervous. Because them say, yo, where it come from? It's money. But anyway, yeah. So the last thing that is left is the vote. I want to tell you, bank to bank, from Mill Bank to Hector's River. It's just too much. It's just too much. What's happening? Yeah? And Shan, there's a place for you. Don't worry yourself. Shan, as long as you have your tune, you're good. There's a place for you. But yeah, just like that, we're just going to say, just like that, it's inevitable. Winnings. And I told them when I came here last year, we have the win. We have the win. Shan, check me the night of election. You owe me something. I got it right here for you. Yeah. We have the win. And I tell them, and that's it. And yeah, that's it. If this was VH1, we say VH1, where are they now? But that's some 90s thing. I don't know. They still have that? Ronnie, they still have that? VH1, where are they now? We don't even know if VH1, where are they now exists. Because some of them is going to, when you retire them, it's going to be where are they now. Because I can tell you. Mr. Impotent, I'm telling you, get retired. Look about your health. And health is wealth. Is there a way to put up cameras around the posters? There are cameras, but here's the thing. Haven't seen who did it. Do you want to turn somebody's child into a criminal so that although they are labor rights and doing the dirty work for the other side, then when they end up in the courts convict them and the same side say, oh, those criminals shouldn't be here. We don't want them around. We're not doing that to People's Picnic. The boards don't vote. You're voting for the substance. You're voting for the person. You're voting for somebody that love you, not people who love themselves. And those are the things that they can't compete against. There are people with all of the money. Let me give you an analogy. Sometimes y'all have some fool. You ever heard about there's something called cuckold. It's a term. And I'm not gonna expound on it, but to say this. Money can't buy love. It can buy attention. It can allow people to walk up and down with you with a PR system, and you meet a girl and you're rich, and you can give her Botox and give her fake booty and put her in nice dresses. You can even make her the CEO of your company. But when the time come and the lines and eros is in the air, is who they love they're gonna go for. And so, you see, before I became a lawyer, when I ride bicycle, I can tell you, say, yeah. Leave that alone. All I will say is they people laughing because they know it's the truth. You have your money and you're uptown and think you're somebody, and a bare jacket you get. Jacket after jacket, because one thing, Beanie Man, when he was the king of dancehall, you said get a girl of the wickedest slam. So you see all them uptown women there with them waistline, nah move, none at all. So some of them have the biggest professions, but are the girl we say can't stop pat them weaver. Them have the ungle mengle. Yeah, I'm just making you know that. And ungle mengle go a far away, all the money in the world. Just ask them, nothing beats a jet you holiday. ask the visa babies. Ask the green card babies. Yeah. And that's why JCF always I try to lock up the youth them, because them know the green card babies coming down for them. So will you somebody say, I'm just putting it out there so people understand that love is greater than money. You cannot fake a genuine heart, a genuine soul, a genuine mind. You cannot fake the natural mystic. So for those reasons, you just cannot. Authentic is ISAT. I am you, and they can't even do nothing about that. Genetically, when I do my canvas and we go here and there and buck up the wall of the bucket and them ugly like me, and we eye them brown and we're ugly but we look nice. And the girl them know say, yo, hands big, nose big, lips big. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. I hope I'm saying it right. But I'm just making my point. So T say foot big. You know, saying people on TikTok when they must behave. I'm just simply saying it. So last but not least, you can't size up. You see right now, I sat in prime. I'm just gonna say this one time. Being on stage with Isaac Buchanan, and you're an old, dilapidated human being that's spent your time, that you're looking at, is it Cialis, Viagra, anything that deals with impotence, you just can't size up. So I can see if anybody in this situation should be wearing an anti-bad mind shirt, it's me. Everything works, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So anyway, you should see Miss She's like, what? You should see the face of my future wife. Anyway, let me leave that one alone. So I don't know, Shan missed the part where I was talking about this is Texas. Ain't no hold up. Anyway, yeah, so that is all I will have to say on that point, because you know, when you wake up in the morning and this is me, is a far cry from when you have to wake up and be somebody else. I can see where it can be offensive to somebody that you can be yourself night and day. Not restricted by anything really. And in a developing society, we want to have spaces where people are free to become the best versions of themselves, and that there's a pathway to do it. So a country that's young in and of itself must be in a position to get guidance as well. And the guidance must come from competent human beings. No, one of the things that you'll never see when you strip everything bare is that Pumps can't get up and say, I'm incompetent. Pumps can't get up and say, I'm smarter than you. Pumps can't get up and say, I'm better than you. It can't happen. In fact, Pumps have to look and say, is a man that. Pums just don't even know how to process greatness. Because Bear Fluxy, him the boss. Pums a boss over there, so everything green have to stand up under Pumps. But when Pumps face off with a real man, it is a problem. He has to question himself. You understand? And that's the reality. So anytime you see them talking about me, it's because them love me. And it's the truth. I discovered that. The level of interest that they take in me. And I saw it, they come up and you walk in my presence. Can you imagine you clutch your little handbag and you walk in my presence and you just a shiver same time and goosebumps take up your body and you don't know what's going on? That's the ISAT effect. And so, anyway, let's say everyone love you. One ISAT, never two. Big up Samantha. One ISAT. Had I known that you were such a lioness and hearing your lioness roar, trust me, big up yourself. Who could have tell me anything bad about Samantha after yesterday? Yeah. And so that's what advocacy is about. The people that you advocate for will learn from you and come back and advocate for you. And that is how a society and a nation is built, because every Jamaican is supposed to advocate for every Jamaican. There's not one Jamaican that don't have value. Yeah? And so we are to appreciate the differences even when we don't agree with it, but advocate and protect. National pride is the advocacy that we should be looking for. And so whether you're disabled or whether you're overtly able, we strike the balance and move forward as a nation. And I mean, I hear people talking, it's like, I have family here and my family love me. And one of the reasons why my belly big now is because them overfeeding me down here. Because them don't want my mother, and they don't want my father. My father is like, I mean, if you cook. Till him gone on a plane and gone on tour and then him don't know how many am. See that? But just family. And so I just love it. But yeah, it's easy to find that space. It's easy to find that space where the Lord will harden your heart like Pharaoh. And it is only God's work that could be the only answer for why there would be this enormous attention being placed on me, because I don't see you. And when the ballad is called, and let me tell you something, I'm going to call it right here. Doreen in the West, I got pressure Pumps. Pumps swell up when Doreen done pressure. Pumps, I'm sorry for you. I bet say you can't leave your constituency. Doreen, up under your Pumps, sorry for you. Bear pressure. Deadlock in West Portland. And that just leaves me to dance with the devil in the pale moonlight. Beauty and the Beast. Of course, I'm the beast. No, so? Yeah. One thing I know. Yeah. We see it like that. So that's just one aspect of it. But let's talk about legislation. I'm just going to share with you this with you. Mark Golding has thought about the future of the youth of this nation long before he was the leader of opposition. When he made legislative changes to decriminalize ganja, it was something thought of to ensure that young people wouldn't be caught in vagrancy laws. Vagrancy laws meaning you have your one spliff and you don't find yourself dead like Mario Dean, because it was an excuse for police to lock you up. An excuse where you know that some Jamaica have a thing where when them spirit not take you, them spirit does not take you, and many things can come. Many things can come from that. And I must tell you this, somebody say, yes, Isaac, give Doreen strength. Doreen is my strength. She give me a lot of strength and a lot of encouragement. And Doreen is on the ground. And Doreen is saying, Isaac, here are 27 people living in West Portland that vote in the East. And allow me to talk to every single one of them. And learning from her, I have done the same. And so when playing a numbers game, trust me, Doreen is the yin to my yang, and the polls are showing. So while it is that everybody is putting all their attention on me, I can tell you, he pums have focused me because he cannot. Yeah, you see, because Doreen can't be his punching bag, and he can't thump her in her face and abuse her and these things. He can't speak on her because the dynamics of the society is that they say birds of a feather flock together, so don't want nobody accuse him of being misogynistic and being a George right. So him just pretend like she don't exist. And his frustration, him come over here and acting like him is a wife defender. You're still not on the ballot over here. You might think you're on over here. But who's that coming? I sat a forward. Yeah. You think I did Crawford, you get tricked. Yeah. And so we must not ever forget that. There was, I saw it and I found it just laughable. Andrew Holness says, boy, goat rearing has been profitable for youth, and he's encouraging it. But when Damien came to Portland and says, here are the goats, the people not so bright say, reject the goats. And see some book grant here. And here we're at an impasse. Everywhere I go, young people is asking me to provide goats to them. And whilst I've gone as best as I can to ensure that they do micro farming and raise some chickens, and you provide the chickens and the feeding to help them. You do that, and somebody say, congrats to your future wife. Why, thank you. When I propose, I'll let you know. Yeah, who knows? It could be you. Yeah. And so whilst persons are not appreciating what is to come, they're now asking you to reject the education. They're now saying you don't need to worry about what ISAT is saying about turning case into a university that can deal with the research and have discussions about how to protect our environment and protection of the coral reef, which is important as global warming is threatening the Caribbean Sea and our oceans and our coastline, as well as to ensure that we certify farmers and assist them so we can have corporate farming. They're saying reject that, because you're going to get your independence, and when you get your independence, you're going to know that they're not there for you, and you won't be their subjects, because remember, they're saying that they have a thought of what Portland is, and it doesn't include the people. And while it is that there will be accusations about me niggerizing Portland and waking up the Negroes and giving people ambition that they shouldn't have, and how disruptive that is to the utilitarian concept of Jamaica. Reject that and go around, and when they come to you, say stop thief and come to the table with real policies and inclusion for us. And yeah, I'm gonna say it again. Yeah, let there be light, but the light that we're talking about is of God. Enlighten our darkness, we beseech thee, O Lord. Right? Anne Marie says, Isaac, it's 35 years I don't vote. Hope I remember how you mark. Remember, Mark, put your X beside the head and don't spoil it. That's how you'd mark it. Yeah? Put your X beside the head. And I was speaking to a particular voter and him said, let me tell you something, I gotta put the X beside the nose. That means it fit in the box, then can't say it poil. Yeah? And for those who like to ring bell, go on a mad house. Nobody not stop you. Feel free when it's all said and done. Yeah? Come to Smart Road. The office is there. It is there for you. Regardless. Because we're here for everybody. Yesterday, I see two pretty labor right women, you know. Pretty, you know. And then I make up them face. And I say, yo, when your face made up, you're so pretty. It just not working. Because at the end of the day, you know, trust me. Was Christina Aguilera second album Bare Naked? Stripped? Yeah. At the end of the day, when it all said and done. I just love. Let me leave that alone. Yeah, because what people understanding is that when somebody accused me, Isaac Buchanan, of niggerizing Portland, they're saying, how dare you decolonize? Are you mad? Yeah? That I don't even know what that means. I'm trying to put a definition to it. But at the end of the day, I always say this: kill them with kindness, kill them with love. And it is through that where compassion is something that not everybody understands. If the other side knew compassion, they wouldn't be saying that I am not fit to be a part of society, having been a youth offender rehabilitated and has become one of the greatest attorneys in Jamaica. History will have me down as that because of the seminal cases that I participated in and won. That's not. I'm not self-grandizing or self-promoting. It is a historical fact when you call it out. And I mean, in other countries, when one says, how at 6 months of the bar you're appearing before the Court of Appeal and giving a monumental submission about metadata before 3 of the most erudite judges in Jamaica, you would never understand that my instructors in law sits on the bench, and I will forever, I can call their name, you know, because I'm telling you, Justice Brooks, when you hear him say no, you know, I have to smile. I've said this a million times. Never forget the great people who influence your life. And having gone through that, to hear non-lawyers, people who don't like education, try to talk down to you and dismiss the fact that education is why I am where I am and nothing else. And to say to you, I am here because education is the great divider. So if you're a security guard and you saw them making fun of Mark Golding and say, oh, you mean I'm Quest uniform, as if being a security guard is a bad thing, when you earning an honest living And you might be a security guard that's also going to school, hoping that one day you could be a lawyer, and appreciating the dynamics of education being the great divider. It is the breaker of poverty, like how I am the breaker of vases. Education will break poverty, and people are asking you to reject that. When I say to you, if not for education, my life wouldn't change. If not for education, my life wouldn't change. Even if I had all the money in the world, without the education and entering one of the most erudite professions because of the education, appreciating what it is to have a second chance at life because of education, and because the Jamaican society, the society itself is a compassionate one. And because of the doctrine of separations of power, where judicial guidance, where lawyers understand it, the role of having integrity, of knowing what a contribution. I can tell you, there were 17 people who sat in a room and assessed my entrance into the legal profession. The assessment of the entrance into the legal profession says rehabilitation at a minimum, you know, would inspire others to take up themselves. So Jamaicans should be awake, and there are great Jamaicans who avoid politics because they say they don't want to be a part of the fray. They don't want nobody to tell them that them wife fat. They don't want to put their children for say, look upon them children, them head big and them head picky like them big nose father and them ugly. They don't want to put their children in the limelight. They don't want their parents. The labor right says my father had sex with his daughter and my mother is my sister. And they salivate and feel good about saying I'm a product of incest. A complete lie. The nastiness that comes with political representation from the other side, an ad hominem attack, because they can't come to the podium like I can and say, I'm educated, I'm better than you. I can formulate policies. I have vision. I am not morally bankrupt. I am not bankrupt with ideas, and I have a vision for the youth of this nation. I have a vision for protection of the elder. I have a vision to restore one of the most noble professions, the education profession, and to allow teachers to be paid proper and to have them guide the youth in a way that is wholesome. Understanding that there are tiers to learning, understanding that you can enter the university at 35 and graduate when you're 40 and still be a part of one of the greatest professions. And if you don't like that, you can go back to school and be like the Gen Sec who want to be lawyer and doctor at the same time. Yeah, that's like a Peter Ogleg. Big up yourself, Peter Ogleg. He's at the University of the West Indies. He's a doctor and a lawyer. And there are people, the first place I saw had that experience was Cuba, where brain surgeons were carpenters and butchers and lawyers. And you learn that when they said lawyers on one side, lawyers versus doctors, engineers versus astronauts, and the same person stand on the field and is the jelly coconut man. Yeah? And on the weekend, they can put up a house together. And if shit go bad in the world, can I say that on TV? Yeah, if things go bad in the world, they find themselves going on planes to stop COVID from killing the rest of the human race. Cuba saved the human race because it was an educated nation. And all I'm asking people to take from the Cuban experience is the education aspect. Educate your people in the place they are from, so that they too can have a sense of self and respect and make mature considerations. So when they hear the nonsense that's coming out of the Jamaica Labour Party, when they hear the nonsense and the vitriol, when they hear it, they say, but this is nasty, this is nonsense, and it should be rejected. You use taxpayers' money to print a 60-page document. And while we're on the topic, because it's 5:51, I must say this. I take the concern of the Member of Parliament from the West about convictions and the type of character that could be allowed. But I ask the public to understand this. The issues concerning my juvenile convictions and youth offense has been ventilated by the court. And thereafter, the man I am today, who can laugh with the lords in England and be the first Rastaman from the Caribbean to address the Privy Council out of his chambers. Yes? Appreciate this. Says to me that if anyone for the purposes, Portland is concerned, you have an advocate that can go to the highest court in the land and have also appeared to the CCJ and can tell you the judges of the Caribbean Court of Justice are as erudite as those in England. Our brothers and sisters, black, learned and educated at Norman Manley Law School. Yes? Or any other law school connected through the University of the West Indies by the Treaty of Chaguaramas. But what is so important is raising that. Why are we going to an election when 11 persons are suspected being investigated of corruption? Them are thief, #stop thief. So if that concern is a legitimate concern, we should not go into an election until when the Prime Minister decides that he's going to call the election on Sunday, he also reveals the 11. If it matters to the man in the West, who are the persons in being investigated for illicit enrichment? And who are the persons on the sexual offenses registry? Because the most vulnerable members of society are women and children. Children being young girls and young boys being sexually molested by people in power. Those are the moral decadence and decay that is happening in the society that the people are to be concerned about. Yes? And so you don't have a problem with a man beating a woman with the chair. You don't have a problem with the Speaker of the House taking the money and giving it to our sister. Taxpayers' money for vehicle concession and pleads guilty to it. And then there's a $40 million election to re-elect her, having pled guilty to the conduct and has a conviction. But you question a youth offender who has used the system, the legal system, to rehabilitate, have demonstrated rehabilitation. You just don't like Rasta people and you fight against the black youth then. And every youth must have a chance to be the best version of himself. Whether him go to prison for a spliff, whether him was an idiot and him do things in him past. And once you do the crime and you do the time and you have rehabilitated and reintegrated, it has to count for something. We only have one life, and in a growing nation, all hands on deck. That is the last thing I'm going to say. And for those of you who are in the country, whether you're deported, whether you're embarrassed by your run-ins with the law, and you're living with a conviction, and you have to get a police record, and it's not spent, it's not expunged like mine, and you have to deal with the realities of the conviction. You might not know it now. Focus on your education. Seek guidance. While it is we legislate to correct the wrongs, because in Barbados there are persons convicted of firearm offenses that are allowed to have their records expunged, and those persons off everywhere in the world, England, America, foreign, big foreign, you name it, and are productive members of other societies, and they're not discarded and placed on wanted lists and murdered and put to death and fill funeral homes so the coroner can have training in post-mortem examinations and reports for the court. Don't take it lightly. And the last thing I will say, I have entered Portland Eastern and I have brought no crime with me. Not one member of the local government or big government had to die for me to have any victory or chance at victory. My work speaks for itself. Shout out to you, the diaspora, who ensured I could give away more than 3,250 tablets and counting. And everybody that come down to vote, that bring on a 2-2 tablet because of back to school, big up on yourself. That is the love. That is the concept of all hands on deck. But just remember, everything I do as a son of Jamaica is out of love. As an accomplished attorney with a profession and a work that don't include used car. I don't sell Allbrook. I sell freedom. Yeah? And I give it away for free through my advocacy. So remember, hashtag top thief and don't size up. Because everything big. Blessings. I love you.
It took some time to understand. Yeah. Just what it takes to be a man. Now it seems each day you learn something to make a better way. Like growing up ain't just a phase, it's reality. And sometimes it's hard to face the world with your head screwed on. But in time you will see it comes naturally, like the hurt and the pain. It's a part of the game. It's all a part of life. To laugh and to cry, that's right. It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it stride. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right. It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it stride. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. No, I heard them say life much better you live it your own way. But if you need a helping hand, just call on me, I will be your friend. And when it gets hard to face the world with your head screwed on, just tell yourself you can. And that's when you'll understand that the hurt and the pain, it's a part of the game. It's all a part of life. To laugh and to cry, that's right. It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep your stride. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right. It's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep your stride. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. You gotta keep on moving on. next. When they try to bring you down, we gotta take it to the next level when they come around. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep your stride. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep your stride. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. Just keep your head up, yeah. Just keep your head up, yeah. Gotta keep your head up, yeah. Cause everything's gonna be alright. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. Cause everything's gonna be alright.